Hello, Cancer. This is going to be your general tarot reading for May 2021. And we shall see what comes out with you. I'm starting to feel like a broken record because I've had to apologize to everyone so far for being late this month, but I don't have it in me. I'm sorry. I do apologize, but I'm tired of apologizing. I've had a lot going on recently. So let's see what comes out for you for May. And this reading is for you if you have a Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon, or Cancer Venus. And as always, this reading may or may not resonate for you. Some parts of it may resonate strongly, other parts may not. You'll just have to use your own intuition. And if for some reason it does not resonate, you may want to check out your other placements readings and see if any of those resonate for you more. You might be surprised if you've never tried that. I highly recommend it. I've actually noticed for myself, my moon and my rising readings always seem to resonate for me more than even my sun sign. So you just never know. And if you would like to skip through this part and just go straight to the beginning of the reading, there is a time stamp down below in the description box that you can click on, and it will take you straight to the beginning of the reading, so you don't have to wait through this part. And this month I'm going to use the Spiral Tarot for your main cards. And for your clarifiers, I'm going to use the Edmund Duloc Tarot. I really hope I'm saying his name right. He was a famous illustrator for books in, I believe, the early 1900s for fairy tales, legends, stories. So it's been fun actually working with it so far for May. All right. Here we go. 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's shuffle it one more time. What's going on with Cancers in May? 11. All right. Hopefully you're not picking up on my breathing too much. I'm going to try to move this where you can hear me okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. If a reading starts off with some difficult cards, it does not mean that the entire reading is difficult. So just don't let any strange beginnings of readings deter you from watching the rest of it. You might be pleasantly surprised. So, as your central experience for May, you have the 8 of Cups. So you are in the middle right now of moving on or about to move on emotionally from an old emotional experience. You want to experience a new emotional experience in your life, or to try new things instead of carrying emotional baggage with you from the past. Or even deciding to completely change things where you are no longer doing what you were doing before and you're going to be doing something completely different. But it's a process here of moving on. She is at the threshold. She is not in the future yet, but she's not quite, even though she is still in the past, she knows that she doesn't want to remain in the past. She wants to experience something completely different. Or moving on from emotional difficulty. Or just realizing that what she has already experienced has become emotionally unsatisfactory. She's not satisfied anymore, or it's just not fulfilling her, and so she is realizing she needs to move on and go seek things elsewhere, see if she can find satisfaction with something completely different. So let's get more information on it. What are they emotionally moving on from? Here, let me pick 2 cards. I'll pull one for where you're coming from, and I'll pull one for where you want to go. So, tell me more about what they are emotionally releasing. That's 20, Judgment. Major Arcana. Okay, and what is it that they long to go towards that is new or different? What? That makes no sense. Okay, give me another. Here we go. All right. And I'm going to use this card. These cards, rather. Tell me more about Judgment. What did this Judgment have to do with? Oh, okay. And what is it that they want to move towards? This was upside down, so I'm going to pick another one. All right. Wow, that's a lot more cards than I thought it was going to be, but I think I have a grip on what it's saying. I'm just going to tell you what I see because that's what I get. And of course, like I said before, this reading may or may not be for you. Some parts of this reading may very well be for you, but it's up to you to know whether this is yours or not. Here, I'll show you the cards and then I'm going to lay them down and just tell you what I see. So you had the 8 of Cups. You have Judgment. With this picture, it's hard to tell what's going on here. It's so dark. And then there is exchanging gifts with Judgment. And there is the 5 of Pentacles. Then you have Major Arcana, the Sun. And the Fates. The Fates. Okay, so what I see here is that you are realizing what has been holding you back, and you're realizing what is holding you back from being able to draw in what you actually want, which is happiness, the sun. Not that you're unhappy, but the sun is total fulfillment, total self-expression, total happiness, health, laughter, children, fun, warmth. So that is what you want. And so I'm going to tell you what your advice is. There's something in here about what you're emotionally moving away from is potentially something that you were taught with how you were raised, or it may even be something that you have carried on from past lifetimes that says that you perhaps have been a little bit too judging of yourself, or other people have been too judging of you. I'm getting something in here of being taught that in order to be given something, you have to give something back in exchange, which normally is the way that things flow with things like karma. You know, when you give, you receive. When you receive, you give. It's a free-flowing, exchanging gift sort of energy. But with judgment in here, I'm getting that perhaps when people just freely give to you, you feel obligated to give something back, or there's some kind of guilt there that exists, that where you want to make sure that things are fair. But sometimes you just need to receive, instead of feeling as though you have to give something back or you owe somebody something. Just because someone gives you something doesn't mean that you owe them anything. Or if you give to someone, that does not mean that they owe you, or that somehow you can count on them giving back in the future. There's something about ties, karmic ties, or it's hard to put into words. It feels very Saturnine to me, like it's hard for you to receive, or it's hard for you to accept that you just deserve it. It's like somebody or something or a dynamic taught you a long time ago that somehow you don't deserve it, or you have very high self-discipline when it comes to gosh, it's so hard to put into words what I'm getting. Let me see if I can tune into it for a second. You were taught that you're just not given things randomly by the universe. You have to work for them, or you have to prove that you have done something in return for it. But I'm actually seeing something in here about it's time for you to be blessed now. And it's time for you to accept being blessed now, instead of feeling responsible, feeling like you owe anybody, or feeling as though you have to somehow make a trade or prove yourself, or it's like you put conditions on yourself. Let's put it that way. You put conditions on yourself where it's almost like you're bargaining, or you're trying to bargain, or gosh, it's so hard to explain. But whatever that is, it looks like you have become aware that this is holding you back. There shouldn't be conditions on gifts. There really shouldn't, either on yourself, or from others to you, or from you to others. There shouldn't be conditions on unconditional giving. And you were taught conditioning or conditions on yourself, on whether or not you deserve it, on whether or not you did anything to get it, or something here. And it feels like it has been holding you back. And it's time to experience just the good things without feeling as though you need to do something, or somehow you have to prove that you're worthy of it to yourself. You are worthy of it, period. So in the future, hopefully this is making sense for you. In the future, you need warmth rather than cold. You're ready for the spring and the summer. Winter is coming to an end. You may have struggled with feelings of lack or coldness, where you didn't have exactly what you needed, or you felt some kind of a lack, whether it was monetary lack or emotional lack or a lack of blessings, a lack of warmth, a lack of creativity, or just low energy feeling here. And in order to receive what you want, which is the sun, which is happiness, fulfillment, feeling good about yourself. Not that you don't, but this is an emphasis on warmth, creativity, energy, health, being able to be creative, to express yourself fully, to receive the good things in life. The sun shines on everyone. The sun does not think about whether people are worth it or not, or whether they've worked for it or not. It shines on everyone unconditionally. Unconditional love, or love from the universe, from others, from your surroundings, from yourself. And you have the fates. So what I'm seeing is you don't have to do anything. You don't have to feel responsible for anything. You do not owe the fates anything. You don't owe the world anything. You don't owe the universe anything. You don't owe anything. You are the way you are. You are you. There is no need for apologies. There is no need to work for unconditional love. Unconditional love has nothing to do with working for it, or with having to buy it, or trade for it, or prove anything for it. It's just there, period. The fates have something in store for you that is actually really amazing, and you need to surrender control. You need to surrender to it and don't feel guilty. I don't know where that's coming from. You've worked really hard in the past and you deserve it. You don't have to, accept it. Allow it. Surrender to it. Walk in that direction. Realize that you deserve it. You are loved no matter what. So, all right. Your challenge is the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning, a new way of feeling, a new path of love, whether it's a new love for your life, a new love for something that you are unlocking or unleashing or initiating, a new path of happiness, a new path of realizing how blessed you are, of receiving what you need. Notice she's holding a skeleton key. She somehow initiated the outpouring of magic that is happening with that vase right there. And so it's not, she may have accidentally opened it up without realizing it, but it did take some kind of action on her part of unleashing it. So you have some kind of I don't want to say the word responsibility in this reading because of everything that I just said. You shouldn't feel responsible for anything right now like that. So, but it does take your initiative. It does take your will or your wish for it to be able to come into your life. This could be, let me get more on it. This could be literally moving, you guys, for somebody. This could be moving from a cold climate to a warm climate. Or someone gives you the gift of sunshine. Or whoa, I think it just fell on the floor. Justice. All right, I need one more. The Six of Pentacles. Yeah. I don't know if someone here had a childhood where if you asked for things, people shamed you for it somehow, or made you feel like you had to do something for everything that you were given, where you were never given anything freely. And okay, someone might be watching where you perhaps grew up in some kind of a family that had monetary struggles where they didn't have enough money. You possibly watched a single parent of yours or a mother of yours have to ask for help. There's something in here about pity, toxic pity, where like somehow by asking for help, it shows that there's something wrong with you. Or by asking others for help, other people's snooty attitudes about it, or pity is a different thing than giving because you want to give. It's giving out of pity instead of out of mutual respect to another human being. It's like a class thing here. If you look, it looks like a rich sultan or a king with his mate being asked by a poverty-ridden woman for a glass of water. Maybe she's thirsty and she has needed water for a long time. If you look really closely, these two people look very complacent. They look like this man looks a little bit more receptive to possibly giving her water. But right now I'm kind of getting a feeling like they're like, ugh, why do people always ask us for help just because we have things? Or why doesn't she improve her own situation instead of asking us for what she needs? Maybe she's where she is because she deserves it, or she did something to attract it, or rather than just simply helping her. Like somehow people who don't have enough, it's their fault somehow. It's like blaming the victim, or why should I give to you just because you don't have much? Just because I have things, why do I have to give to you? Or if they do give it, it's out of pity and it's out of kind of almost like a pat on the head, like, here you go, here's your money, good luck with everything. And it's very demoralizing, or very, what's the word? It makes the person feel crappy, like they have no sense of worth or pride in who they are. People make them feel like they are less than. Maybe you had some kind of situation that was highly unfair in the past, when either for yourself personally or something that you witnessed when you were young, that programmed you with either somehow you don't deserve gifts, or you have to give something back, or you owe them, or somehow there's something wrong with you because you have been given a gift. Or there's some kind of weird obligation to all of this. But you realize that this is not right. You realize this. That's why you still have parts of this left over from back then. Even back then, you knew it wasn't right. But somehow it's gotten mixed in with how you think or how you perceive these things in an instinctual way. And so it's hard to reprogram it, or to release it, or to completely let it go. And keep in mind, this is a challenge. This is not stopping you. This is not going to keep you from experiencing blessings. Blessings are pouring into your life whether you like it or not. The fates have something in store for you. This is completely out of your hands. The gifts are going to be given to you no matter what. But you're struggling with the reaction to those gifts. And so don't let yourself or anyone else make you feel less than just because you may not have as much as other people, or you deserve gifts. Yeah. So, or that somehow because you lack something, you won't be able to attract love. Like, I don't have enough money to have a relationship, or I don't have enough of this in order to cultivate friendships or relationships or romance with other people because I'm somehow less than, because I'm different. But that is not the case. That's not true. Don't fall prey to that. And judgment is assessment too. And it's also letting what needs to die, die, and bringing back to life the things that really matter to you or your calling in life. And so, judgment, you are assessing all of these things. You're looking over all of these things and realizing what holds you back and what would help you to move forward, to allow to bring back to life again. Some of this may have even been legal too, where perhaps you had some kind of thing go on in the legal world that was highly unfair, and it might have even been simply because you couldn't afford a lawyer, or you couldn't afford something. And so there, doesn't it seem to be that people in poverty are much easier to take advantage of because there's nobody there, there's no money to protect them, there's no people around them to protect them unless they're advocates. It's easier to screw over poor people with not enough money than it is to screw over people with money. But yeah, there's something, or you want to change something where people no longer are treated like there's something wrong with them for needing help or having to ask for help, and that actually it's the greedy people that think that they're so much better than them that need a sort of judgment or a reckoning here, not the people who have struggled. Maybe you're looking into, maybe somebody watching, maybe you're thinking of going into advocacy or getting involved in some kind of nonprofit situation where you can actually freely give to the people who need it with no shame involved here. Okay. So, what is helping you? Okay, it's this one. What is helping you is the Queen of Wands. This is standing up for yourself, being assertive, knowing what your worth is, knowing who you are, speaking your mind, being protective of those people and situations that you care about, and being not afraid to show all of who you are and to stand in your power. The Queen of Wands is an Aries court card, so this could possibly be a fire sign or an Aries around you that is very empowering towards you, that where you are working on this or already doing this on your own, but this reinforces you. We all need to empower each other. When we're working on empowering ourselves, it definitely helps to have a mirror with other people that are also mutually empowering us at the same time. So this could be a person in your environment that is helping you to become more empowered or to encourage you while you empower yourself more. I'm not saying that you're disempowered. I'm just saying that you are working on empowering yourself more. And the Queen of Wands is also about individualism or being an individual. And she definitely has a lot of strength and individualism, where she is not afraid to be herself, or she is not ashamed to be who she is. She has no qualms about telling you exactly who she is or how she thinks or how she feels. Or initiating something as well, starting something in your life that is a completely different chapter of your life. She's a motivator. So let's get more information on her. Tell me more about the Queen of Wands as what's empowering you. Maybe what's empowering you is to empower others. By coaching and empowering others, that helps you to empower yourself. By raising other people's self-esteem, that helps you raise your own self-esteem. Makes you feel good about yourself to do that. To stand up for what you believe in. Or to help others to stand up for what they believe in. Let's see. Tell me more about the Queen of Wands as what's helping them. The Seven of Pentacles. Anything else? The Nine of Cups. Wow. Wow. You're having some kind of a great gift be given to you in May. This could be a spiritual gift. It could be a physical gift. It could be an emotional gift. It could be some kind of a breakthrough, or something is being given to you. A wish is being granted. The more you empower others and empower yourself, or the more you have mutual empowerment, the more you thank your lucky stars, and the more synchronicities, magic, luck, and gifts will be coming your way. If you have already initiated something where you have wished for something, it looks like you have a temporary period of waiting for it to arrive, and then it arrives. So if you've been waiting for some kind of a breakthrough, if you've been waiting for some kind of something to shift or to change for the better, it looks like it is definitely on its way. So don't feel like you are waiting in vain for some kind of a breakthrough. It looks like it's going to happen. And this could also be love for someone. This could be you have met someone who is very empowering, possibly a fire sign, that you have a really good, and this could be friendship, romantic, a marriage, it could be lots of things, could be parent and child, could be a lot of things, but I see a close, comforting kind of a relationship between two people where you feel renewed by being around each other. You feel better when you're around them. They encourage you. They make you feel like somebody has your back. Could even be a close friend too that you can spend time with, where you are mutually very empowering of each other. And this is what's helping you, is realizing, sure, you have your individuality and you have your own power, but you can also have companions too. You can have both. There's the Nine of Cups, the Wishes Granted card, which also has two people in it. You have the Waiting or Patience card, the Seven of Pentacles, which has two people in it. Looks like lovers or partners or best friends. And then you have your individuality as well, where you encourage each other as individuals. Or you want to do this for others. And in turn, the universe may be exchanging gifts with you where you get this in return. You give this and you get it in return. But it's not about owing anyone anything, and it's not about feeling like it's some kind of job you have to do, or that somehow if you get that it's hard for me. If this resonates, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm not saying that you can't exchange gifts. You should be able to exchange gifts, but exchanging gifts should not have to do with guilt or obligation or feeling as though you are obligated to do something or to give something back, or that you owe anyone. That is not part of the picture here. So at your root, you have the Four of Pentacles. Have you been too confined, where you've been inside too much, or in dim lighting, or stuck in one place, or stuck with the same routine or the same things you're doing or the same responsibilities, or you feel limited or you have felt limited or stuck in some way, or overly responsible for something. So let's look more into it. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles and their instincts. Is your instincts to grip onto what you have because you're afraid of lack? Or you're afraid of things falling apart, so you have to hold on to what you have instead of freely opening up your hands? Let's see. What is this? This is the Emperor. Yeah. Oh, gosh. All right, let me pick a remedy. The Lovers. Wow. Okay. Let me pick one with that. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. This reading is obviously for someone who really needs to hear these things, so or who has had a very specific experience here. So let me show you this. I'm sure you'll see what I'm seeing. So with the Four of Pentacles, you see the man's in a dark place. He's stuck on a stone or a brick throne. It looks like he's laden down and weighted down with coins. There are bars on the windows behind him. He looks like he's in prison. Sorry, I accidentally stopped the video. Here we go. And then if you look at this, there's the Emperor. I always get a kick out of the different versions of the Emperor in different decks. There's the Emperor in his throne. He looks like he is not satisfied, or he's upset, or he's thinking very strongly or deeply about something. Notice this is total patriarchy, you guys. I mean, look at it. Whether you're a man watching this or not, I'm not downing on men at all. I'm just talking about the the negative version of the patriarchy, just like there's a negative version of the matriarchy. The Emperor is the patriarchy, after all, just like the Empress is the matriarchy. But notice he has 3 servant girls all around him. One's holding a fan that she's fanning him with. One is playing a lute for him to entertain him. The other one looks like she is lost in thought and she's supposed to be playing a tabla drum, but instead she's forgotten what she's doing because she's got a lot on her mind. That's what it looks like to me. None of these people look happy. The Emperor doesn't look happy. The girls in the situation don't look happy. They look like they would much rather be doing something else than slaving away after making this patriarchal figure happy. It's almost like a servant role. Again, there's something about class in here, or being made to feel like you're less than because it's so hard to put into words. It's like being stuck in a situation where you need things, and instead of being able to get what you need, the patriarchy or the system, let's put it that way, the system has set it up where you have to ask for handouts, or you have to ask for help, but then they make you feel like you're less than, or you're not a human being because somehow you need help. But the system has arranged it where you are dependent on them and you cannot get that for yourself. So it's a mind I'm going to curse you guys. I'm going to warn you. It's a mind fuck. It's manipulation is what it is. This could be for someone who has ancestry or past lifetimes of even being a slave, or of fear of enslavement, or fear of perishing or dying if you didn't get what you needed, or had to do a little song and dance or fan people just to get what you needed, which is supposed to be free from nature, Mother Nature. Everyone should be able to have what they need. They shouldn't have to lower their own self-worth and serve someone else when they don't want to, just to have what they need. And then on top of it, be made to feel bad about themselves. There's a lot going on in here that has to do with that. But you may have been stuck in a situation where maybe this is being re-triggered because you're in some kind of situation where you need to lower yourself in order to get what you need, and it makes you feel crappy about yourself that you have to do that. But I see this as ending because you have death. Either you quit the job, or you get out of the situation, or the situation ends. Or you are ending it. You're not allowing this to get to you anymore. It's not worth it. Also, the age of the patriarchy is dying. It's coming to an end. This is death. Things are changing. However confusing it is, however chaotic it is, things are changing. You never know what's going to happen in the future with stuff. Generational changes or world changes take a lot longer than normal small changes. And so when you're in the beginning of it or in the middle of it, it's hard to tell where things are headed. I see something changing here where this is no longer it is no longer able to continue with it. That might be one of the reasons on why the emperor looks so upset. He's realizing his reign is over. He's realizing that he's no longer going to be able to exist this way anymore, and his reign is coming to an end. He has to accept that. But then, or it may be because of the system, you're afraid that health is going to die, or things are going to end, or things will no longer be the same, or things are doomed, or you're worried that this is going to end certain kinds of knowledge. This is going to end certain kinds of knowledge if the system is able to continue with the direction that it is going with. However, there is the Lovers, and there is Flexible. And again, I see kindred spirits, soulmates, companions, friends, family, relationships where people are coming together. You don't have to worry about things being doomed or people being alone and starving by themselves. There will be help. There will be allies, friends, people working together. And there is flexibility. Nothing in the future is set in stone. We are living in a predictionless age right now in the Aquarian age. Aquarius is very known for being unpredictable, and the same goes for predictions of the future. Nothing is set in stone. You're realizing that things are a lot more flexible, changeable, and adaptable than perhaps you thought. And you may be more flexible, adaptable, and changeable than you thought. Things are not quite what they seem. And you do have allies, you do have companions, and you do have a choice here. You do not have a choice. You have a choice. You have choices. You are not trapped. You are not trapped. You have choices. Don't feel like you have no choices here. And also, I'm looking at how different these are. He does not look flexible. And then there's flexibility. There's something going on here. You may be able to work with the realization that you may be a little bit more flexible than you realized, and that things are not so rigid as you thought. This could be physical, or it could be emotional, mental. It could be with what you're projecting about the future. There's a very big difference, stark contrast between these two. And notice she's balancing on an egg. There's new potentials and new possibilities in here, and you're very well aware of it. You're very well aware of it, that there's new potentials, new possibilities, and you're looking in that direction. It's not like you don't realize this. It's just you have to release this, and it's not always a quick process to do that. It takes some time to emotionally let go. Or process even old things from the past that have held you back. So in the past, recent past, you may have been sleeping more than usual, needing more sleep than usual, oversleeping possibly, or not sleeping enough and then crashing. You have definitely had to take care of your health or your energy levels and to rest when you need to. And to still the mind, to focus on mental peace, emptying the mind so you don't have a million thoughts on your mind all at once, or worries or fears. Just allowing your body to relax. And you've been focusing on that quite a bit. Your dreams you may have been remembering your dreams, or you've been sleeping very deeply where you don't remember your dreams at all when you wake up, and you actually feel rested when you wake up. Or just simply needing more sleep than usual. So I never even went into that, but I think I did anyway. Okay. So your best possible outcome is the Hierophant. In this deck, this is Chiron, the wounded healer. You have the great potential here as your best possible outcome to truly heal. And this could be any number of realms. This could be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual healing. Or you understand the connections between body and spirit more than usual at this time. Or you recognize how your spirit and its health influences your physical health. There is a rainbow bridge being opened up where your mind is, or your way of seeing things is making more connections than usual, where you're having breakthrough moments, where you're having greater understanding of things, a greater ability to piece pieces together and see the ways in which things are healing. Sometimes when we heal, that's when we feel the pain the most, is when we open all that stuff back up again in order to sift through it and heal it. It can actually hurt worse than pretending that it's not there. But there is potential here for great healing and understanding, spiritual understanding, philosophical understanding, optimism, seeing possibilities more clearly than before, and a direct connection between the physical and the spiritual. You'll receive some kind of a solution or a key or an idea that you're being awakened to the potentials here and the ways in which things can be healed or solved or mended. And some wounds never heal. He is the wounded healer. He's not the healer that once was wounded and then he healed. He's the wounded healer. So some wounds we can't heal all the way. but there's a greater connection to the universe here, or to the growth and evolvement and positivity that longs to create that is in the universe. You're more aware of what you can create at this time, and also to trust your own innate wisdom. To trust your own innate wisdom and to listen to yourself. And also, spirit will mirror you. You may be having a realization and then awakening of sorts, and then you will have it mirrored with the words from someone else, or you'll be validated, or you will have validation for what you already know, just if you need it. You may want to reconnect with wise people, or old souls. You may be an old soul and you may need to reconnect with other old souls. Sometimes when you're a single old soul and you don't know enough other old souls, it's easy to become confused. Sometimes we need other old souls around us to remind us of what we already know. And then it feels healing just to even have that. To know others that see things the way that you do, or understand things the way that you do, where you can help to awaken more of that in each other, or even in a group. Okay. In the future, there is the Knight of Pentacles. You are slowly but surely moving forward. And pacing yourself is very important. Not to overdo it, not to take on too much all at once, not to hurry with anything. Pace yourself, find the right pace, and then keep up with it slowly but steadily. If you need assistance or you need help with something physical, like, I don't know, moving boxes, maybe even need some kind of a treatment like a massage or Reiki, or some kind of advice on your diet. Maybe I'm getting something about a nutritionist in here. You may want to go to a nutritionist who can help you figure out what would be the best way of eating for your particular body that you have. This can be physical assistance. This can be just simply being patient and keep on taking things one step at a time, and to pace yourself. And things are growing and you are going somewhere. Let me see if I get anything else. Or going into a helping or a healing profession. Maybe you're a healer. Maybe you're going into some new area of your life where you're starting to actually be able to practice this. Maybe somebody watching has gotten a diploma or a degree, or has completed a course in some form of healing. And healing can be so many things. I mean, it could be even healing the earth with things like permaculture, or organic gardening, or farming, or new ways of being more connected with how things actually really are, or how nature actually really works. This can be helping others with someone here may have gotten a degree in being a physical therapist, or healing through music, or sound, or frequency, or diet, or nutrition, or somebody watching, you may be a healer, but you may have just finally graduated, or learned everything that you needed to learn, and now you're actually able to practice it. You may even be an advocate for others where they have what they need, instead of being made to feel small or insignificant by systems that don't care about them. Okay, let me pick a little bit more on it. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles. Or counseling, passing on. If you're worried about knowledge being lost or dying, you may very well want to pass that knowledge on yourself if you have it. And also to realize there are other teachers out there too. It's you're not alone. There are more people than you realize that are carrying things forward. It's just sometimes Chironian type people or old souls or healers tend to be very quiet. And so we don't always really notice them or realize that they're there. That's probably a self-protection technique. You know, obviously they're less likely to come after you if you don't draw their attention to you. There are hidden teachers everywhere in life. And teachers don't always have to have a degree either. They can be born that way with wisdom, wise thoughts or wise words that have come from experience. Or you want to take older, ancient, sustainable ways and bring them back into the world more in the future, to make sure that it gets carried on. But let's see. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles, the Tower. Yeah, ways in which you've understood things are completely changing. And the Five of Cups. Wow. Yeah. Being the help that you wish to see in the world and showing by example. In little, it doesn't have to be as grand or as large as all that. It can be very small deeds, very small ways in which you help, but it makes a huge difference. And if everyone did that more, it would change things significantly in the world with how people feel supported. Okay, so there's the Knight of Pentacles, which is a helper and healer. This is a Virgo card, by the way. This traditionally is many things in this deck. It's Sagittarius, Chiron, and Virgo. Both of these can be considered Virgo cards. Helping, healing, physical healing, assistance. But this is like the great teacher, and this is like the great teacher student, which will one day become a teacher. So you have the Tower, which generally signifies something crumbling. But in this image, the tower hasn't crumbled yet, but there are things in the air. If you look, there are screaming faces, like the howling wind or howling spirits all around the tower. And normally the tower represents collapse of something that is no longer sustainable or has outlived its time. Whether it's a belief system, whether it's a thought pattern, whether it's an actual job that you've outgrown or a relationship you've outgrown or an old way of seeing things you've outgrown. But I am getting something about helping, getting ready to help when shit hits the fan. But you may be focusing in the wrong direction. Instead of worrying about shit hitting the fan and having to be ready, re-envision things. Sure, certain things collapse because they need to, but that collapse is also major change and transformation. It is not death. It is not the ending of things. It's the ending of certain things and the birth of new things, rather than doom or total disaster. And I don't know what's going on in this picture, but in the Five of Cups, there is a naked woman with seaweed and a man peering down at her. You know, instead of peering down at her and talking with her, he should be handing her some clothes and asking her if there's anything she needs. She looks like she's almost at the mercy of this guy. Yeah, there's sadness, there's loss here, there's feelings of being alone, of not being cared for, and also possibly even not being protected in here. But you are willing to be this person. You know, I can almost imagine this Knight of Pentacles coming along being like, hey, you, what are you doing with that girl? Get away from her. Here's some clothes. And are you okay? Do you need something to eat? What's going on? You know, whatever weird power dynamic is going on here is not healthy to me right now as I look at it. And instead, it looks like this Knight is saying, this is ridiculous. I need to do something about this in whatever small way I can, in whatever way I can. I need to do something about this. And or recovery from situations that you have been in that have been like this, where someone should have helped you when they didn't, where you were at vulnerable because of this, and you are determined to do something about it or to help others that are going through similar things. Or interesting. Yep, this reading seems fairly specific. It must be for like 1 or 2 people is my guess, but hopefully for the others of you, this is making sense to some degree in a different way. So you right now have the Wheel of Fortune. The fates were in here earlier. The fates have something in store for you or are directly involved in your life right now. You may not be aware of it, or you might be. Just know you don't have to figure anything out. You can trust the fates. You can trust the fates that they know what they're doing, and you don't have to worry so much about how things are going to unfold. As much bad as there is in the world, there's an equal amount of good. And things are going to be okay. And not only that, there's something about to occur for you that almost seems miraculous to me, or like it's a huge movement forward. You may be totally surprised by this, or you feel it. You feel like there's more going on here than meets the eye, and it almost is filling you with a small or a large feeling of awe. You might even be having prophetic dreams, or you may be intuiting things before they happen, or you may be having prophetic visions, or seeing different realms involved in things that normally you don't. It's almost like an element of awe, or of for some people, this could even manifest as fear. When we see things that we don't completely rationally understand, we can feel fear. But at least you guys being a water sign, water signs are more able to accept the fact that things are not what they seem, or there are deeper things going on in the world than what meets the eye. But know that the fates are working in your favor right now, and you don't have to worry about destruction if you have been worried about it in the past. You may even be pleasantly or miraculously surprised at how good things are changing, how things are changing for the better. Or you see some things changing for the better, and it gives you a lot of optimism. You may also be thinking about traveling. Okay, so in your surroundings, you have the Ace of Swords. You have a brilliant idea or a new way of perceiving things or a new way of understanding things. Your eyes may be wide open. You may be seeing things that other people don't see. You may be making a decision about your surroundings or what you choose to surround yourself with, or what kind of thoughts you choose to surround yourself with in your everyday life. This could be a new way of thinking, or a new way of seeing, or a new way of understanding concerning your surroundings. Or someone brings information to you that opens up your eyes to something. Let me get a little, or you may receive a message or a letter or an email that changes things for you and possibly opens up some kind of a new opportunity. Let me pick more. Tell me more about the Ace of Swords in their surroundings. The Ace of Pentacles. You have a new beginning. And this could be new money coming in. This could be a new job, a new way of treating your body, a new way of eating, renewed health. This could be also starting learning something new, or understanding things in a new way that allows you to change the physical in a new way. But again, here's companions again. It looks like they're playing chess. And one person may be instructing the other on how to play it. But it looks like you have companions in your surroundings, or you have people to talk to. This is just simply conversation sometimes too. You have met other people or another person that you truly can communicate with, and it's a relief. This way you can get instead of letting your innermost thoughts fester and go around and around in your own being, you can actually let them out and see what someone else thinks about it. There's conversations here, and there's learning new things, maybe a new hobby or a new interest or a new something that gives you something to look forward to every day, or a new interest. This could even be a new love interest too, a new person that you have met that you're getting to know better, and the communication looks amazing. So your fear again is of death or total destruction, total endings, something not being able to continue anymore. You had death earlier too. Where is it? But again, keep in mind, if something does have to end, it was meant to end, and that means that something else is being born or is becoming. And oftentimes death is not a total end. It's just a transformation. And it may be that you're fearing transformation as being some kind of awful, horrific, terrible thing, when really it may be a kind of transformation that helps things to grow and become easier or better or more fruitful or more creative. And so I wouldn't fall prey to that kind of thinking right now. Or I suppose it could be saying that your hope is that certain things are going to end and no longer continue the way that they have been, and your hope is that they will transform. And your general outcome is odd. It's the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, sadness, loss, disappointment, feeling abandoned, feeling alone, feeling like no one cares. Let me look at that more. Tell me more about the Three of Swords as their general outcome, please. The Ten of Cups. Maybe you're afraid you're going to lose something very valuable. Or when we encounter people or situations or even belief systems that we care so much about that make up our happiness, the fear of losing it can be disturbing, even if it hasn't even happened, or the fear of losing it. Or for someone watching, gosh, I hate things like this, but I see it in here. You may be afraid of being left and your partner or someone you love starting a life with someone else that they're happier with than you. Or this has happened in the past where you were left by a partner who immediately got together with someone else and you were left alone. Or a feeling of being abandoned, and that somehow because you have been abandoned in the past, you're afraid that this is going to continue to happen as like a lifelong trend or something. But you have the Ten of Cups with it, which is happiness. Happiness, bliss, feeling lucky, having everything that you always wanted truly in your heart for yourself. That it's not going anywhere, that it's permanent happiness, or it's a permanent situation that brings you happiness. I mean, within reason, in the 3D world, things are never permanent. It doesn't even matter if they've been around for thousands of years. Things can change, but you don't have to worry about being betrayed or abandoned here. I see a lot of companionship and love in this reading, or partnership in this reading, of not being alone. Or of the things that you value and the things that you care about. You're afraid of them being mistreated, or of becoming lost, or of ending, or of again, there's like some weird feeling of responsibility in here, like you feel responsible for this. But your happiness is not going anywhere. You might be pleasantly surprised. Let me pick one more. The Ace of Cups, true love. Wow. Or just love, period. There's the Ace and the 10 together. If some of you have met someone that you are getting to know, this looks like something that could turn into something very, very long lasting, and it isn't going anywhere, so don't worry about losing it. And this is also a new feeling in your heart that you are drawn to pursue, and you will be able to do it. You will be able to accomplish it. Whatever it is that's in your heart that you want to go out after, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be a person, it could be anything. It looks like it's not going anywhere, and it will be able to grow into a 10. You may want to go on some kind of a journey, or to go see someone. Okay, well, hopefully that made sense or resonated for you, or for someone, or helped someone. And I shall see you soon. Take care, you guys. Bye.